What's up guys, this is Chris here, and today we are going to be talking about the top 5 subcompact pistols for the money. So if you are interested in a solid carry gun that can flex into a couple of other uses, like maybe home defense or even shooting on the range, I think the Subcompact is probably the best for that, because subcompacts are just slightly bigger than micro 9mm, but smaller than compacts or full size. So again, very good for carry, but a little bit bigger. So they're really good for larger people who want to carry a slightly smaller gun, or they are good to pair with their larger counterparts. Now, what is a subcompact pistol? For this video, we are going to categorize subcompacts as any gun that is smaller than a Glock 19, but bigger than a P365. And what I mean by that is subcompacts are not quite micro 9s, but they are the 3-inch versions of full-size handguns, which are very popular on the market today. You'll see what I mean in a minute. Before we do that though, I want to mention my Patreon supporters. Thank you guys very much. It's because of you guys we have cool guns and ammunition on the channel. And if you want to support the channel, it's the best way to do it. Just go to the link in the description below. Also in that description is a link to a local shelter named Iowa. It's the YSS. Those kids could use your help, so please get down to the donate page and donate to those kids. Now, let's get right into it with number 5, and I'll kind of explain further what I mean by a subcompact with the most classic subcompact, the Glock 26. Now, the Glock 26 is what I think of when I think of a subcompact pistol, or at the very least, a subcompact 9mm. A smaller, snubbed down version of a very classic gun like the 19 or the 17. It has a 3-inch barrel, a 22-ounce overall weight, and it comes with 3 or 2, depending on which version you buy, 10-round 9mm Glock magazines that also can accept the larger Glock 19 mags and the Glock 17 mags. So not only can this take 10-round flush fit, but it can take the 15, the 17, or the big sticks. I like that a lot because the subcompacts, you can have a full-size Glock 17 that you use for home defense, and then you can use the same magazines, ammunition, ergonomics, parts, accessories. A lot of the same parts go on the Glock 26, and you can have a very comfortable, very familiar carry package that has a lot less silhouette, so it's not so uncomfortable when you carry it. Now, the reason why the Glock is at number 5, even though it is the gold standard of subcompacts, is because these days I feel like it's not quite as good for the money as some of the other guns that you're going to see higher on the list. It is limited a little bit in features by comparison to some of them, including its plastic sights that it still had since 1962, and it doesn't come with a light rail, at least on a lot of the models. Also, the trigger is a little bit heavier and a little bit dated, along with many of the other features that you see on the Glock, including the very strange grip angle on the Glock 26, which everybody was willing to accept when this was the only polymer frame 9mm available in a 3-inch category. But now that there's many, many more, the Glock 26's popularity has waned significantly. I'm not denying that it is a phenomenal gun. It was a personal carry gun of mine for a long time. I used to carry an OD Green Gen 4, and I love it. However, the reason it's at number 5 is because there's just better options for less money. The gun comes in an MSRP of around $650, and they can be had for around $550 if you look, but again, a little bit more expensive than the next few. In at number 4, we have the IWI Mada Slim. Now, this is an interesting and sort of controversial pick for this, but I'll explain why I consider it more of a subcompact than an actual micro 9. This is a 13+1 polymer frame striker fired pistol with a fire control unit, which is pretty neat. It's one serialized part, and you can make it bigger or smaller by buying different grips and slides, which helps in its modularity. Now, what I really like about the Mada Slim, aside from the fact that it is very accurate, it is very reliable, it is very durable, and when we did our 1,000-round test, it performed very well, is that not only does it take the standard flush fit 13-round magazine, so you get 13+1 in the gun. 13 goes quick. But if you want to upgrade a little bit more, you can actually use the standard CZ75 magazines, which is incredible for me because I have tons and tons of these Shadow 2 magazines with 22+1, and if I want to carry one of those, it gives me all the capacity I need for my little CZ75 subcompact or the IWI Mada Slim. Now, the other interesting part about that is there isn't really a lot of options for a CZ75 compact, so you have a ton of these mags. You can actually get this and rock this as a carry gun and have an absolute ton of quality range magazines. I'm a big fan of that. Add to the fact that it comes with a high quality set of raised sights that are steel and 3-dot, very excellent. We have those front serrations, is sprung very well, and the trigger is actually pretty nice, significantly better than the Glock 26. Not only do we have a really solid 4.5-pound pull as opposed to the Glock 26, which is more like 6 or 7 pounds, but the reset is also very short, and it allows you a lot faster follow-up shots with a much slimmer grip. It's only about an inch wide, so it's going to be very comfortable to carry, even though you can have that 14+1 or even that 22+1 capacity and still carry relatively comfortably. We have the Shield RMS pattern red dot sight mount, so even though you can get the MOS pattern on the Glock, you still have to worry about those plastic plates that often break or maybe aren't even shipped with the gun lately, whereas this gun, you can go out and get a Holostun or maybe a SIG optic or even a Vortex Defender, and you could pop it on there right away, no plates required, which is very nice, because a lot of guns these days that say they're optics ready, they come with no plate system. For example, my last PDP that I got, no plates. Now that sucks because you can't put an optic on right away, whereas a direct milled optic, you absolutely can, because you just fit it right in the mount that they already put on the gun. So cool option, and I think it's one of the best subcompacts, certainly one of the most overlooked, because it has an MSRP of only $450 and can be found well under $400, making it a phenomenal gun for the money. In at number 3, we have one of my favorite guns, the M&P Subcompact 3.6. Now this is going to be the biggest gun on the list, whereas the IWI is probably going to be the smallest. This is a 3.6 inch 9mm pistol that accepts 15+1 magazines, which is really cool because, again, even though you can run the 15 rounders, you can also run the 17s, the 22s, and even bigger, because it also has the magazine compatibility with the standard M&P 2.0, along with all of the same ergonomics. We have that great grip, we have those palm swell back straps, which I really like. You have an option to put either a safety on it or not, it's up to you. My personal one here has raised steel 3-dot sights, which work very well with the optics mounting system that comes from M&P. And as I said before, the direct mill has a lot of pros, but it does have some cons. In fact, the direct mill system only works with the optic it's milled for, whereas if you do get a plate system with a Glock or like the M&P, and the M&P actually does come with some pretty decent plates, you can run it up to 6 different optics right out of the box, which is pretty neat. Now this one has a full Picatinny rail on it, which is really nice, and then we have the new M&P 2.0 trigger, which again is significantly better than the Glock 26. As you can see here, a much lighter pull, even under 4 pounds, with a solid reset, making the M&P 2.0 extremely fast. Add to the fact that it has a really good grip. For me personally, I love the M&P grip. I mean, you guys know I'm a Smith & Wesson fan to begin with, but the M&P 2.0 has that super aggressive texture with that even fuller palm swell than a Shield, for example, and I can shoot these awesome. I absolutely love this gun, and it was certainly one of my go-to guns and will continue to be. Now, the gun is a little bit more expensive than some of the other guns on the list, but I think it's worth it. At an MSRP of around $650, they can be found for $500 to $550, and I think it's such an exceptional gun that for $550, I think it's almost a steal. The M&P Compact, for example, we left outside for over 3 months loaded, and we shot the same ammunition through the gun, and it ran right away. They're extremely durable, extremely reliable. I have tons of 1,000-round reviews on M&Ps, and they've all been absolutely excellent. Couldn't recommend it enough. It comes with 2 steel magazines for your trouble that go in and out of the gun super well, and overall, all the controls on the M&P are slick and super easy to use. In at number 2, we have one of my all-time favorite guns. We have one of my OGs, the TP9 SC Elite from Canik. And this thing kicks so much ass. I put this on a ton of top 5s because of how good it is, because of how affordable it is, and because of the features that the gun comes with. First off, look at the thing. It actually looks really cool. We have that Shield RMS direct mill, which I talked about earlier on the IWI. We have very similar sights to the IWI as well, high quality steel serrated 1-dot sight, 1 dot in the front and a blacked out rear. We have front serrations, rear serrations, and we have dual controls here. We have ambi controls on the slide lock on either side, and the magazine release, like on all the other guns, can be switched from one side to the other, if I didn't mention that. Now, the star of the show on the Canik is certainly the trigger, as they do have some of the best triggers in the gun world. Now check this trigger out. This thing is so awesome. And this allows me to shoot very fast and very accurate up close and at distance, and it allows me to carry a gun that's small, it's light. The gun is only 24 ounces with a 3.6 inch barrel, and it has a capacity of 12+1 or 15+1, and I know I can engage at any distance I would absolutely need to, because it's one of, if not the most accurate subcompact pistols I've ever fired. Now, it comes with other features people might like other than me, including a loaded chamber indicator and 3 back straps, which I actually never switched. But one of the things I like the most is the magazines actually have finger extensions cushions on them, so my big dumb hands can actually fit on the gun really well, even with the flush fit part on the back. Now, why I like the finger extensions on guns, even though they're not as popular as they used to be, is because it allows me just a little bit more surface for my pinky while not allowing too much out on my shirt there when I carry, so people don't know I'm carrying. I don't print quite as much because the back of the magazine always prints more, especially if you carry appendix. As you can see there, I like the filed off silhouette of the Canic, and when I carry it, I feel really comfortable with it. The second thing I like so much about it is the absolutely gigantic trigger guard, which is awesome for Iowa winter. So if I'm wearing big fluffy gloves, I can still access my Canic and still get the job done. Overall, for an MSRP of only $530 and an available price, if you look, of $350 and up, I think it's an absolute steal. Fast, accurate, reliable, great trigger, all for under $400. It's hard to beat a Canic. Now, the only honorable mention I'm probably gonna have for this video is gonna be the Ruger Security 380. I love that gun. I didn't want to put it on this list because it's a 380, but if you're looking for something a little bit lighter recoil than a 9mm, it's a great choice. Add to the fact that it has a light recoil spring, so it's great for people with arthritic hands or possibly smaller statured or older shooters. Not only does it have light recoil, but it's easy to operate as well, reliable, accurate, and it has a good capacity, all for about $400. So a little bit extra there for an honorable mention. That being said, let's get into it with number one, the CZ-P10S. Now, the CZ-P10S is a gun I've talked about a lot lately because I think at the price point that I've been seeing it at a lot of gun stores, it really is arguably the best budget subcompact that you can get. The CZ-P10S is the smaller version of the P10C or the P10F. It is a 3.5-inch barrel, a weight of 24 ounces, and a standard capacity of 12+1, but it does accept the 15 and 19 round magazines of its bigger brothers. It has absolutely excellent trigger, very similar to the Canic. Maybe not quite as good as the Canic, but the recoil impulse on the CZ is better, and the reliability, in my personal experience with the CZ, is better as well. Premium manufacturer that puts premium features in a gun that you can pretty much count on working. All the versions I've had are very reliable. It also has ambi controls, a swappable magazine release, and a very large trigger guard in its own right, very similar to the Canic. Optics ready models are available, however mine does not have an optics rail because it was the most affordable version you can get. This one I've seen multiple times, even recently, for around $300, making it an incredible deal for me personally. 12+1 in a 9mm polymer frame striker fired subcompact that I can bet my life on, and it's only $300, is almost too unbelievable to say. However, it's real because it's sitting right in front of me. Now, this one has three dot sights that are steel, very similar to a lot of the other ones, but I'm just explaining that the average set of sights that are steel are usually $50 to $100, and it's just an upgrade in parts and features over something like the Glock. Now, add the fact that this has a better trigger than the Glock 26, it has a better recoil impulse than the Glock 26, it comes in tons of different colors, and it comes in for a price less than half the cost of the Glock 26. It's hard to deny the awesomeness of the CZ-P10S. So I would say without any debate, that's probably the best subcompact pistol for the money, but let me know in the comment section what you guys think. Did you think I picked a good list, or do you think I missed a couple? And if I did, I'd love to know what they are. Please put them in the comment section below. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. If you want to see more like this, just let me know in the comment section below. Please help out your local homeless shelters, and remember to recycle. I'll check you later.